Pusong natin aabot kahit nasan ka man. Sa gitna ng panubok na panahon, kahatid sila kaakibat ay diskusyon. Sama-sama tayo kahit magkalayo. Sa programang ito, tag ang pagkatuto. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo, Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Makinig, manood na sa Teleradyo. Makinig, manood na sa Teleradyo. Nananabik
A wonderful morning, dear Delpilarians. You are tuning in to Teleradyo Marcelo, ang telearalan ng bawat Delpilarian. I am Ma'am Nina, your literature buddy for 21st century literature from the Philippines and the world. We are now on the third week of our program, Journey to the Realm of Literature. The objectives for this lesson are the following. Compare and contrast the conventional and 21st century literary genres. Enumerate the elements and structures of each genre and appreciate the features of each genre. The most essential learning competency is differentiate, compare, and contrast the various 21st century literary genres and the ones from the earlier genres, periods, citing their elements, structures, and traditions. We will try to achieve the following questions at the end of the session. What are the conventional literary genres? What are considered to be the 21st century literary genres? What are their distinct characteristics? These are just some of the questions that we will answer later. For now, let us have a review of our previous lesson by giving the correct answers to the following questions. So you may also choose the letter of the correct answer. For the first item, Filipino songs in this period dealt with the themes that were true to life, like those of grief, poverty, aspirations for freedom, love of God, of country, and fellow men. The choices are A. 21st century period, B. Period of the Third Republic, C. Period of New Society, D. Period of Activism, or E. Post-EDSA Revolution. Kindly comment your answers at the chat box. So you may only choose the letter of the correct answer. So which among the choices is the answer? Is it A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, at the count of 3, 2, and 1. The answer is letter B, or period of the Third Republic. Okay, so good job to those who got the correct answer. Number 2. In this period, the youth demanded a change in the government. Again, in this period, the youth demanded a change in the government. For the choices again, A. 21st century period, B. Period of the Third Republic, C. Period of New Society, D. Period of Activism, or E. Post-EDSA Revolution. Which do you think is the correct answer? Again, I'm going to count to 3. Okay? 3, 2, and 1. The correct answer is letter D. Okay? Or period of activism. So let us go on with number 3. Filipino people regained their independence, which they lost 20 years ago. Filipino people regained their independence, which they lost 20 years ago. For the choices, A. 21st century period, B. Period of the Third Republic, C. Period of New Society, D. Period of Activism, or E. Post-EDSA Revolution. Again, comment the letter of your answer in our comment box. Okay? 3, 2, and 1. The correct answer is letter E, or Post-EDSA Revolution. Okay? Number 4. News on economic progress, discipline, culture, tourism, and the like were favored more than the sensationalized reporting of killings, rape, and robberies. News on economic progress, discipline, culture, tourism, and the like were favored more than sensationalized reporting of killings, rape, and robberies. So, in what period was this? Again, for the choices, A. 21st century period, B. Period of Third Republic, C. Period of New Society, D. Period of Activism, or E. Post-EDSA Revolution. Please comment the letter of your answer. Okay, I'm going to count. 3, 2, and 1. The correct answer is letter C, or period of New Society. Okay, good job to those who got it right. Okay, for the last number for our review, number 5. New trends have been used and introduced to meet the needs and tastes of the new generation. New trends have been used and introduced to meet the needs and taste of the new generation. Okay, for the choices, we have again A. 21st century period, B. Period of the Third Republic, C. Period of New Society, D. Period of Activism, or E. Post-EDSA Revolution. So which do you think is the correct answer? Okay, I'm going to count again. 3, 2, 1. So time is up. The correct answer is, of course, letter A, the 21st century period. Okay, so congratulations to all who got it right, all the 5 questions, and thank you for all your responses. So, as discussed a week ago, it seemed that history repeated itself when the Philippines was under the martial rule. We can consider that as the dark era because there was no freedom of speech and press. Likewise, the youth sought reform from the government. A revolution in the form of people power happened and the Filipinos regained their independence again. So we have to remember literature helps us to look back on the past and learn something from it. This made us better and responsible citizens of the country. Okay, so that's something that we have to always remember. Now, let us move on to the new topic. So, join me as we discover more of the diverse literary genres we have. Let us get to know them more, and maybe you can choose one that will hook you after the session. Okay, so I will present some GIFs from selected movies and identify the genre of each. So, are you ready? Okay, so for the first one, again, I'm going to present to you GIFs from selected movies. So this is only five GIFs. Okay, for the first one, okay. So later, I will provide you the title of the movie so that it will help you to determine the genre. Okay, so the title of the movie is The Martian. So this is a book adaptation, the movie. So The Martian. What do you think is the genre of this movie? So you can again type in your answers in the comment box or in the comment section. What do you think is the genre of this GIF or movie, The Martian? Okay, so I'll be counting again. This time a little longer since you're going to type longer answers, not only letters. Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so this is science fiction. So who got it right? Okay, congratulations. For the next movie, number 2. Okay, so this is Miss Anne Hathaway from the movie The Princess Diaries. I think you are familiar with this movie. Okay, again, Princess Diaries. What do you think is the genre of this movie? So I'll be counting again. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, the correct answer is okay, this is chick literature or chick literature. For the others who answered romance or comedy, this is also accepted because I'm just asking for the genre because movies also have a different kind of genre. So I'll be accepting answers like romance and comedy. But the exact answer should be chick literature. Okay. So next one. Okay. Are you familiar with this movie? So this is a Japanese movie. The title is A Silent Voice. Okay. I'm going to count again. Just comment your answers in the comment box. So again, you have to determine the genre of the said movie. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, this is manga. So in other resources, it could be drama. Okay, but in generally or the specific one should be manga. Okay, the next one. Okay, so what do you see in the GIF presented on your screen? So this is from the movie A Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Okay, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Again, what do you think is the genre of this movie? Kindly type in your answers in the comment section. And I'm going to count again. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so this one is Doodle Fiction. Okay, who got it right? Okay, congratulations. And of course, last but not the least, last in our item. Okay, this is from the movie V for Vendetta. So, what do you think is the genre of this movie? V for Vendetta. So, again, I'm going to count. Comment your answers. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so this is a graphic novel. But if we are going to describe the movie, it could be more of action or political thriller or mystery. So those who answered those ones, you are also correct. So I'm going to consider also those answers: action, political thriller, or mystery. Okay. So maybe you're surprised, especially the last item, that it is actually a graphic novel. So we will get to know more about these genres as we go along, okay? So these are movie adaptations of literary pieces, and maybe you're surprised that these were derived from different literary genres. Movies and music have their own genres, and so is literature. So today, we are going to discuss the conventional and 21st century literary genres. So to begin with, we have four conventional or major literary genres. And what are those? Let us start with poetry. So it is said that poetry is an imaginative awareness of experience expressed through meaning, sound, and rhythmic language choices to evoke an emotional response. So it also employ meter and rhyme, meaning there could be number of syllables and then rhyme with the words. The very nature of poetry as an authentic and individual mode of expression makes it nearly impossible to define. So there's some of kind of mystery in poetry. Okay. Next, we have drama. So this one is a composition in prose or verse, although it is presented in dialogue or pantomime. The story sometimes involves conflict or more contrast of character, especially intended to be acted on a stage or through a play. So it may be any situation or series of events having vivid, emotional, conflicting, or striking interest. So next one is, of course, fiction. So fiction is a literature created from imagination. So it is not presented as fact or based on research or based on uh, empirical studies, though it may be based on a true story or situation. So examples of this literary genre are novels, short stories, and novella. The opposite now of a fiction is non-fiction. So these one are now based on facts and author's opinion about a subject. So meaning the author could have done some research to which the purpose is to inform and sometimes to persuade the reader. So examples of these are biographies, the articles from the textbooks, magazines like that of, let's say, the National Geographic magazines, and of course, our newspapers. So again, these are the four conventional or major literary genres. Again, we have poetry, drama, fiction, and non-fiction. So now, let us learn more about the 21st century literary genres. The first one is illustrated novel. So these are a story through text and illustrated images. So meaning half of the book or half of the story is presented without words. So it should be in images only or illustration. So as a reader, you must interpret the images and also read the text for you to comprehend the story completely. So the textual portions are presented in traditional form. Although in some illustrated novels, there might be no text at all. So it means it is just purely illustrations or images. But then again, even though it is full of illustrations, it could span in to all genres. So I have examples like the invention and the arrival. So again, illustrated novels are presented both could be in textual form and combination of text and images. But in some, there are no text. So it's only pure images. But you can still uh, understand the content of the story. Okay. So next one. Okay, so you have there the examples, the invention, and the arrival. Next is digifiction. So it is also called as triple media literature. And maybe you are asking why. It is because it is a combination of three media. So what are these three media? The book, the movie or the video, and of course you need the internet website. So meaning you need to have an internet connection. So for you as a reader to get the full story, you must engage in the navigation, meaning in the internet website, reading, of course, you have the book, and viewing in all three forms. So you have to view either the movie or the video. So you must engage in all those three for you to understand the story. Okay, so without even one of these, so you will not grasp or understand the whole context. So examples are Skeleton Creek and Level 26. So next one is graphic novel. So a while ago, as I have said, V for Vendetta is a graphic novel. So let us learn more about what is a graphic novel. So graphic novel is a narrative in comic book formats. So when we say comic book formats, it's like comic panels. So the narrative work in which the story is conveyed to the reader using a comic form. So the term is employed in a broad manner. So it encompassing nonfiction works and thematically linked short stories as well as fictional stories across a number of genres. So meaning um, graphic novels could also be encompassing the other genre. So meaning the theme. It could be sometimes about nonfiction or sometimes it could be about fictional stories. But the way it was presented, it is in comic book format or through the comic panels. So examples are Archie Comics. Then next one is, okay, so this is popular to, I guess, to everyone, manga. So it is a Japanese word for comics. So it is used in the English speaking world as a generic term for all comic books and graphic novels originally published in Japan. So it is considered as an artistic and storytelling style. So now we already have what we call the Ameri manga. So now we refer this to the comics created by American artists in manga style. So meaning there are already countries like that of America who also adopted this kind of literature. So they call it now Ameri manga. So examples are we have shonen. This one is for boys manga. So the examples are, I think you know these because these are being aired in the television like that of Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. Then the counterpart is shoujo for girls or girls manga, and I think you're also familiar with this. This is a Sailor Moon. Of course, it has also a counterpart. If we have for boys and girls, we have for men and women. So for men, we have seinen. So this is the example is Akira. And then for the women's manga or josei, we have Loveless and Paradise Kiss. And of course, children's manga in general, we have Kodomo. So we have Doraemon and Hello Kitty. Of course, I know that you are also familiar with Doraemon. Okay. So I know that some of you are also fond of reading this kind of genre. Okay, next. Okay. So these are the examples I have cited a while ago. Okay. For manga. Now we proceed with Doodle Fiction. So in Doodle Fiction, it is a literary presentation where the author incorporates doodle writing. So, or it could be drawings, no? And handwritten graphics in place of the traditional font. So, it is said that the drawing enhances the story and often add humorous elements in the story, like that of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid, which is also a movie, so by Jeff Tinney, and also Teeny Failure. So there are doodles or handwritten graphics. So with the aid of the technology now, I guess the doodle can be also done. The doodle writing can be done through various technologies like that of tabs with the stylus. So I guess that's how some of the authors are doing the doodle portion or the handwritten graphics nowadays. And then next we have text talk novels. So this one are blogs, or it could be an email or IM format narratives, meaning IM is instant messaging format narratives, or instant messaging, or the one that we receive via text message. So these are stories told almost entirely in dialogue, simulating in social network exchanges. So meaning the conversations that are happening through social network exchanges. It could be like, for example, in your messenger or in Twitter. So, and I don't know if there are other networking sites that maybe you are familiar of, but primarily it's in dialogue form, or the exchange of messages in social networking sites. Okay. Then we have ChicLit or Chick literature that I also mentioned earlier in the Princess Diary. So let's see if it is really chick literature. So it is a genre of fiction that addresses issues of modern uh, womanhood, often humorously and lightheartedly. So it's like there's a fusion of somewhat comedy. So it typically features a female protagonist, or in our term in Filipino, ang bida rito ay isang babae. So whose femininity is heavily thermalizing in the plot. So always remember, when we say chick literature, it highlights really feminism. Okay. So examples are Scarlett Bailey's The Night Before Christmas and Miranda Dickinson's It Started with a Kiss, which I think you may be familiar with this. Maybe I guess this It Started with a Kiss had this movie adaptation as well. Okay, so you see, um, Princess Diaries is really an example of chick literature. Next is flash fiction. So it is a style of fictional literature of extreme brevity, meaning using exact words. So there is no widely accepted definition of length, or how words should it be, and category, or what it should be all about. No, it could range from word to 1,000. So uh, there are actually, this is quite vague, but if we since it's a fictional one, meaning it's also a result of your imagination, although you just put in exact words to express those imagination. So that's what flash fiction is. And then we also have the counterpart as well, but this time it is composed of 6 word. Okay, but this is also flash fiction. So I have your 6 word flash fiction. So it's just the same, although from the title itself or from the word itself, 6 words, so it only contains 6 words. So you may refer to the examples like that of Ernest Hemingway, for sale, baby socks never worn. So even if it is 6 words, we are able to understand that the baby socks are being sold because it was never worn. Okay. And then we have creative nonfiction. So, also known as literary nonfiction or could be narrative nonfiction. So, it is a genre of writing that uses literary styles and techniques to create factually accurate narratives. So, in a separate lesson, you will get to know more about the literary styles and techniques. But to give you a little background on that, like for example, using flashbacks in writing. So these are just some of the techniques that the writer employs in creative nonfiction. So from the word itself, nonfiction, these are so so I am going to read the next bullet. Contrast with other nonfiction, such as technical writing or journalism, which is also rooted in accurate fact. So meaning um, this is also a product of, for example, research of studies, because from the word itself, non-fiction, so these are presented as facts, but then the style of writing differs, like that of in technical writing. So again, I will just like to emphasize for the baka may confusion on your part, no, for creative nonfiction, this is still nonfiction, meaning presented as facts, although the style of writing lang po yung nababago. So when I compare it to technical writing or journalism, they are both presented as facts or as a result of a study. But then the presentation or the way it was written, dun po nagkakaiba or nagva-vary. Kasi kay creative non-fiction, you adapt here or you employ different literary styles and techniques. Whereas kasi in technical writing or journalism, you employ naman a different style in here. So, yun lang po yung pinagkaiba. But then again, I'd like to emphasize that this is non-fiction still, no? So these are still presented as facts. So just to avoid the confusion, okay? So it was said that as a genre, so creative nonfiction is still relatively young and is only beginning to be scrutinized with the same critical analysis given to fiction and poetry. So, meaning, I guess, this creative nonfiction is still a booming genre, and I think there's a lot of developments that can be still discovered in the future, no, as we explore more on this genre. Okay. So it says there, it is relatively young. So I think we can still explore now more of this genre, and of course, we can still develop it. Okay. And then next one, of course, I think this is one of also of your favorites, science fiction. So earlier, The Martian movie, of course, that's an example of science fiction. So it is a genre of speculative fiction dealing with imaginative concepts such as futuristic science and technology, like that of the space travel, time travel, faster than light travel, mga parallel universe, and extraterrestrial life. So it says here that it often explores the potential consequences of scientific and other innovations and has been called a literature of ideas because nga of the futuristic theme, no? So examples are like that of Mockingjay or the sequel of Hunger Games and Kingdom of Ash. Okay. So we have a lot of this kind of genres today, even in the movies. Okay, next is blog. So it is a website containing short articles called posts that are changed regularly. So some blogs are written by one person containing his or her own opinions, interests, and experiences, while others are written by different people. So there are online applications wherein you can put on your or type in your blog. So it depends if you already have an account. For example, in Tumblr, so you can put your blog there. Okay. So sabi rito, you can change the post regularly. So for example, you wanted to share your experiences for the day, or yet, let's say your accomplishments, let's say the book you have read, so you wanted to share, recommend it to your to the community, so you may do so in writing in this kind of website. Okay. And then I think this is the last one, no? Hyper poetry. So this is a digital poetry that uses links and hypertext markup. So it can either involve set of words, phrases, or lines that are presented in variable order but sit on the page much as traditional poetry does, meaning you will not be directed to another tab, no, when you click the link. So you're going to stay on the page where you are. Or it can contain parts of the poem that move and transform. So for example, you click a certain word there or a group of words, it will like undergo some changes or some parang morph, no? But again, you will not be directed to another web page or on a new tab. So you just stay in the same page. So it is usually found online through CD-ROM and diskette versions. And the earliest examples date to no later than the mid 1980s. Okay? So there you go. These are the 21st century literary genres. Okay, so you see, these are various literary genres that we can choose from. Maybe some of you are not fond of reading because you think it is boring, no? To be reading books with so many pages, but it's not the case now these days. Okay, so I encourage you, all of you, no, students, to check out these genres and see which will match your preference. So maybe uh, you can be fond of reading now, no? There's a lot of genres that you can choose from. All you need to do is to check them out and maybe it will tap your interest. Okay? So now, let us see how well you understood the lesson. I have here an analogy. So you try to get the correct answers. Okay. First item ay chick literature is to woman. Okay. And the next item is doodle fiction is to. Okay. What do you think? So you may comment your answers in the comment section. Okay. So the correct answer is doodle or handwritten doodle or mga handwritten graphics. Okay. Next, drama is to dialogues. Okay. And then the next is instant messaging. So what do you think should we pair to this one to get the correct answer? Again, comment your answers in the comment section. Okay, I'll be giving you again 3 seconds. Okay, 3, 2, and 1. So what do you think is the correct answer? Okay, text, talk, novel. So, di ba in drama, you have dialogues, no? So, when we have instant messaging, of course, we are talking about text, talk, novels. Next item is, okay, so just keep the answers coming, no? Poetry is to meter and rhyme. Okay, how about the hyper poetry? What is that distinct feature of a hyper poetry? Again, comment your answers in the comment section. Okay, as I count again. 3, 2, and 1. So what is that again? Okay, links and hypertext markup. Okay, you got it right? Okay, we're down to the last two items, no? Okay, the fourth one, creative nonfiction. So is to factually accurate narrative. So this is the description of creative nonfiction. Whereas, ito namang graphic novel, what do you think is the description of graphic novel? Again, type in your answers in the comment section. Okay, in 3, 2, and 1. Okay, of course it is also a narrative but presented in comic form. Okay. Last but not the least, of course, I think this is the easiest one, no? One word, 2000s, you have flash fiction. Okay, then 6 words or 6 word. Okay, this is the easiest one. I hope that no one will get this wrong. Okay, 3, 2, and 1. Of course, 6 word flash fiction. Okay. So to all who got it right, congratulations. Good job. Keep it up. Okay, well done, Delpilarians, no? So I hope this activity helped you to differentiate the literary genres. So truly, literature is constantly changing. Some genres are still booming, and maybe some of them are yet to be discovered as new technology arises. Let us always be updated and make use of our technology to speak out for truth, to hone our values, and mostly to use it for the common good of all. So that is my reminder. I'd like to repeat, to use the technology to speak out for truth, to hone our values, and mostly to use it for the common good of all. Once again, in a journey where endless possibilities begin, I am Mamninya, your literature buddy for 21st century literature from the Philippines and the world. Signing off. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much.
Radyo is always at your service. Kaya naman, ang feedback mo, suggestions nyo ay mahalaga sa amin to improve our programs on air and online. Para alam ni teacher yung strengths as well as the things in your mind na mas makatutulong sa mas effective na pagkatuto sa teleradyo. Please take time to send your feedbacks via Teleradyo Mu, which you can access by scanning the QR code on the right or typing the URL provided here, bit.ly/3ORVAY9. One more, this time you follow bit.ly/3ORVAY9. Kaya send your hashtag TBH o hashtag RT dito sa Teleradyo Mu kung saan ang feedback mo, suggestions nyo ay mahalaga sa teleradyo.
Makinig, manood na sa teleradyo. Makinig, manood na sa teleradyo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Sa gitna ng mapanubok na panahon, magkahatid sigla, kakibat ay diskusyon. Sama-sama tayo, kahit magkalayo. Sa programang ito, tiyak ang pagkatuto. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo.